they're my only friends. 1 minute charted, never pretend. Pull the trigger, my heart beats fast. Every second, the future's the past. One shot, don't ask me why. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Oh, scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hedge. Scalp or die, the thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. The screen's glowing, it's 3 a.m. Charts are moving, I'm chasing them. Candle whispers, they speak in flames. Risk is the devil, but I play his game. Quick moves, no time to cry. It's scalp or die, it's scalp or die. Scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hedge. Scalp or die, the thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. Green and red, they're my only friends. 1 minute charted, never pretend. Pull the trigger, my heart beats fast. Every second, the future's the past. One shot, don't ask me why. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Oh, scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hedge. Scalp or die, the thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. pretend. Pull the trigger, my heart beats fast. Every second, the future's the past. One shot, don't ask me why. It's scalp or die. It's scalp or die. Oh, scalp or die. I'm living on the edge. Every tick, every breath I hedge. Scalp or die, the thrills my high. Win or lose, I kiss the sky. The screen's glowing. It's 3 a.m. Charts are moving. I'm chasing them. Candle whispers. They speak in flames. Risk is the devil, but I play his game.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I got a little too clever by a half. Too many labels on my charts today. This should have been a buy that would have worked. I kind of closed it out at flat because I didn't realize that there was a green dot behind it. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let me organize myself here. This is kind of a new version of on TradingView of dots, which I have not released yet, so you guys don't have it. I'm just kind of fooling around with it right now, trying to get a little bit of your feedback on everything. Let me organize myself here. I want to get rid of everything. What's this? Oh, Christmas tree. I want them off. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out like a way to get everything on the screen without one thing covering the other thing up, like I did it in here. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I have a lot of cool stuff to show you. Hope you guys had a good night. Today we're going to do a mini marathon or a micro marathon, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try and go till about 11:30 with you guys today. Do as many trades as possible. We'll start a little bit on TradingView, and then we'll go to wealth charts. We'll switch between gold and NASDAQ, but we're going to trade very, very clean setups. I'm going to run you through the clean setups that I want to trade. It's going to be super interesting because we're essentially going to trade primarily trend and some very particular trend reversal setups that work incredibly well. The biggest problem is that, I have almost an embarrassment of riches of setups here. And the indicator, when you put all of them in the chart, they just get so cluttered and busy in terms of signals that you kind of, it gets overwhelming. So I took everything off. I took the Christmas tree labels off. I took everything off the indicator just to keep us in the purest, cleanest dot format possible. So I can run you through all the mechanics. You guys can see the mechanics, and then we can, play around with how to organize it. The other thing that you're going to see here, which I think is really cool, is the risk parameter. And let me kind of walk you through how I've designed the risk parameter. And I'm happy. I'm actually, in fact, I'm looking. The only answer is get a bigger screen. Sorry. What I'm looking for is actually just to get your feedback on how we want to create this visualization. So we're gonna wait until I actually get an R value. I'm gonna explain to you how the indicator calculates R, which is risk. So like right here, right now in NASDAQ, my default setting for the New York Open is 10 points target, 30 points stop. So just say 10 points target, right? Which is 40 ticks. Okay, it's set over here as a 40 tick structure. If we go into my volatility settings, it says set it in ticks. Oh, it's actually set on futures preset. No, I don't want to do this. What the hell is this? No, that's fine. No. That's not what I want. Oh, sorry. Over here. So it's set in ticks, fixed take profit at 40, to give me a risk parameters, right? Now, the other cool thing is I can ask it, how many candles back do I want to set the stop with? And the idea here is, if I'm going to be short, obviously, the further candles back, the more likely that the stop is, the stop is going to be higher. It's what it's using is the absolute high of whatever candle you tell. So, like, for example, let me just change this right now. If I were to simply say 2 candles back, right? 2 candles back, you'll see that it's going to move to the second candle, and the risk now expands. The risk expands to about 2.7, of my default value. If I were to simply set this to, let's say, 3 candles back, right? I would go over here, 3 candles back. It gets even bigger. Oh, it just went away. So we have to wait for the next dot to show it. But the point is that it kind of shows you the maximum risk you're going to assume if you put a stop at the top of this candle, or you put a stop at the top of this candle. How much risk are you going to assume given your fixed target stop or fixed target issue? And that's very, it's very valuable if you're scalping, or even if you're positionally trading, because maybe you say, I want to put a stop like 10 candles back because I'm looking for, for it to trade, on a positional basis. And maybe I want to put a target of 50 points, which is 200 ticks. Whatever you want to do, it's very flexible. But for our purposes, what I do as my default is I just want to put it 1 candle back, which is the high of the candle. It tells me, this way I know that if the candle is super, super large, I know that my actual risk is really going to be huge. And I'm basically trying to always keep it under 3, no more than 4 R's on any particular trade, right? So that's the new addition that I wanted to put in. I'd love to get your feedback on it. If you think that we could improve it, I'd absolutely love to do that too. It's just that what I'm trying to basically do is, one of the things I realized is that when I put the label on here, and if I have like a Christmas tree label on top of it, one tends to cover the other. So I'm trying to see if maybe I need to move the labels to the side. Just figure it out. Anyways, those are kind of cosmetic logistical questions that I wanted to have for you. But as far as setups go, here's what I've been really focusing on, and hopefully you guys will like it. Let me show you first on NASDAQ on Trading View, and then we can take a look at the wealth charts. So like right now, it's the only reason I'm not taking this is because it's 9:15. I want to try to go into a moratorium of trades before the market open. But right now, let me just sort of walk you through what you're seeing on the chart. No, I'm using a 40 tick target. Why did you say 10 tick? Where did you see 10 ticks? Did I have a 10 ticks? The targets over here is 40 ticks. Fixed take profit target is 40 ticks, right? This is the whole area here. I have to rename it. It should be called show R label, show the risk label. But this all goes back to the idea of like, we want to trade fixed targets, variable stops, or at least be knowledgeable of variable stops, right? That's the whole idea of scalping. And then the question is, do I want to scalp off the high of the trigger candle or off the high of the prior trigger candle? This is obviously to the short side. It's reversed to the long side. Or do I want to maybe do positional trades with like 5-10 candles back as my absolute low or my swing low? I'm just trying to create really intelligent feedback. So here's the feedback, right? So let's say if I'm going to be long if I'm going to take this trade long right now as it stands, if I were to enter this trade, it's a 1.5 R risk. That means I'm going to be targeting 10 points, and the maximum, if I put a stop underneath here, it's 1.5 R's, right? That's what it's basically communicating to you as a function. Now, I don't know if that's clear. I don't know if you want a better communication, but the point is that it's kind of showing you, where you're at. I don't know if people would prefer maybe to have that idea replicated over here. Just saying, your stop is, or your risk is X amount of points or X amount of R's, given your fixed stop. Anyways, I'll leave it to you guys. We're going to work on this. I'm not going to release this for a while because I kind of really want to think through how do we feedback intelligently the risk, the risks that we are assuming, because we don't, in the middle of a trade, in the heat of the battle, when we're taking trades, taking setups, we're not really fast enough or conscious enough to assume what kind of risk we're taking. And this is a way for you to basically be informed, to provide, to give you informed consent that you're taking a trade with, I'm taking a trade with a 10R, meaning that if I lose, I'm going to lose 10 times the amount of money that I try to win. At least you're stepping onto a minefield if you're doing that. That was my general idea of where I was trying to drive with all of this. So this is right now. If I were to take this trade, which by the way, legit trade. If this wasn't 9:15, I might just take it with you guys just for shits and giggles, because I'll tell you what I consider to be legit trades here. This is my first quality setup on this particular structure. So we are negative trend, 8-period SMA below 200. So market has just been in tremendous sell-off, right? However, now we're having a reversal, right? And the question is, when is a reversal a good signal? And my view is that a reversal is only a good signal when you have in the reversal structure a white-green combo, right? A white combo and then a green dot combo. Like right over here, this was a reversal signal that, in my opinion, was good in a sense that you had buying and then further buying. So this is early buying confirmed by more buying. That's the idea of like reversal being a real reversal versus being just kind of a fake out retrace move. So this presumably is a good signal too, right? Now, obviously, they don't always work, but they really do work 3 out of 4 times under these conditions. In other words, if you're taking a trade against the major trend with a white dot, green dot structure, you have a lot of confidence that that is a true reversal. We're going to take this, even though it's before market open, just because I want you to see the, assuming the green dot holds, because I want you to see the mechanics of what I consider to be a good trade, which is that in order for something to be truly reversible, it needs to show you buying interest. And this is a sign of buying interest. So you see also, like, it's basically a 2R trade to the bottom of the candle. And by the way, if it breaks the bottom of that candle, you're pretty much wrong. I mean, that trade just does not really work. So okay, so I'm gonna see if I can join bid here. All right, I'm in the trade about 6-7 seconds early. Let's see where it closes. Okay, it closes at 57.75. So what I want to do is be at 67.75, 67.50. That's going to be my target for this trade. My stop is comfortably underneath this green dot, which is basically a reason. I'm basically trading with a 10-point target, 30-point stop on this idea. And if the trade breaks the lows of this candle, it's pretty much a busted trade. So let's see if I get some continuity here, as I expect, given the fact that this looks like a relatively decent reversal signal. My stop right now is actually the trigger candle. So this calculates my default stop is the actual trigger candle, not one stop back. I could do it I could have a combination of, like, you know, from 10 to 0. So I realized that when I'm doing these scalps, if you break the low of the trigger candle on the long side or break the high of the trigger candle on the short side, 9 out of 10 times it's a busted trade. So you basically should need to orient your risk parameters based upon the lows and the highs of the trigger candle. Because what is this all about? This is a momentum trade, right? If you're taking out the lows, the momentum is died. You know, there is no momentum in the move, right? It needs to hold the bottom just as it held the top in order to kind of prove to you that the trade is working. Now, as I told you, you know, we're in front of market open. This could be a busted trade. I don't care, because I want to show this to you just on a mechanical basis, you know, as an entry structure. We'll hopefully have more of them. We're going to have a long day ahead of us. We'll hopefully have more of them, and hopefully against an environment where we're not, you know, 5-10 minutes into the open, where they're going to just pull the rug on me, as we know. Generally, I don't usually trade this to time, but this is just simply a demo trade to show you the mechanics of the trade. So, you know, that's where we're standing. Now, you know, while this is putzing around, it's definitely going to go against me right now. The other money trade, you know, the really good money trade, is to trade with the trend. And the trend trade has a very distinct signature as well. The trend trade basically has the following signature. What you're looking for, so a trend trade is when you're trading down with the large period SMA. So we're below the 200 period SMA, so we're looking for shorts, and these shorts are going to produce themselves when we see red dots or purple dots. And what we need as a trend trade structure, like a trend trade signature, is the following condition. We need a red dot preceded by no red dot, meaning no momentum, acceleration of momentum, right? That creates the best probability for us to have continuity, which is what we're looking for. Now, you could say, do you want to trade, you know, pull away trades? The answer is yes, if you're hyper confident in the move of the trend. But if you just want to take the sort of the easiest, the first fall off the cliff, then the trade you really want to do is this no momentum, yes momentum, go. You know, go trade, because that's the fall off the cliff, and you can see that, you know, showing itself up over here all the time. No momentum, true momentum, boom, right? You can see it over here with trend. No momentum right over here on this candle, yes momentum, boom. Now this one actually does retrace hard against you. I think this is the one where I got clipped on. This is 64. Let me see. This was 65, and it popped to, no, I survived it. This was a 30-point stop, so I did survive it, and it did come back. Then, you know, you have, like, of course, the problem is you always want to be in something like this. Unfortunately, you never know when that's about to happen. It's super hard. If you're super confident that the trend is going, then of course you could just sort of sell every. This is a uber strong downtrend, right? Like, very rare. I would say this happens 1 out of 200 hours, maybe 1 out of 500 hours of trading. Because this is, assuming this is like an hour of trading where you just have just nothing but relentless selling here, like you do over here, right? Yeah. So this is Gary. It is the pause structure, but just a little bit modified. You know, just a little bit modified, a little bit more manualized. So yeah, this, it's basically pause momentum. That's what you're looking for. But I'm really looking kind of like at the first or the second move within the within the trend slice. But what I was going to say is, so when you have this kind of intensity, right? And of course, it's impossible to forecast the intensity beforehand. You kind of have like two plays to go. It looks like I'm going to get killed on this trade. Fuck me, as usual. I hate the first trade. The first trade I always do always blows me up, right? I mean, I knew this was a bad trade because we were fronting the thing, but I was hoping maybe we would get a clean reversal. Yeah, it really sucks, but it is what it is. The great thing about getting stopped out is you have an opportunity to make it back. That's my attitude. Fortunately, it's a tiny trade, so it's not gonna have any impact. But anyways, what I was gonna say is, so when you're faced with this kind of a condition, right? You have like two responses. You could say, I don't know how long this is going to go for, right? Trying to sell these things in the middle of the heat of the battle is very exciting, but also highly uncertain. You just don't know if it's going to stop on the 3rd, it's going to stop on the 8th. You don't know when the selling is going to stop, right? So I think generally when you face with this kind of move, you made your money on the first move, and then you have this huge big move. The intelligent thing is to simply step back. You're not in the, if you were in the business of catching big moves, that would be a great thing. But that's, then you're in the business of catching very rare trades, right? We're in the business of catching very frequent, high probability trades, not infrequent, high reward, low probability trades, right? This is a very low probability trade. So don't try to turn a low probability trade into a high probability trade. So the way the way I actually traded this is I basically waited until this kind of selling died out, and then I wanted to see what the consolidation reaction would look like. And as you can see, the consolidation reaction basically looked like there was this weak response to the upside, and then we resumed. We had a pause and a resumption, and I shorted this over here, right, which is fine. Then you see, as it starts to continue selling, it stops making pull away trades, right? It starts losing its downside momentum a little bit. And then my whole construct was, and actually this did not work. I just realized this. My whole idea was, okay, I'm going to wait for the green dot, red dot reversal. But in this case, it just, the selling was so strong that it just, it didn't work. So I got stopped out on this one. I then waited patiently to see the next move to the downside. So I sold this one over here. Pause this. And then I just simply waited again to see if I could get a reversal signal. And then the second reversal signal, which was over here, worked very well. So, it's never a perfect plan, but it's a good plan. So I came in here at 868 and it totally resolved on the upside. Now we're fronting the market. Let's see what the market wants to do. I still think it's, we've had basically a huge amount of sell-off. Now it becomes very interesting to see, do we have continuity of this selling, or are they going to try to, try to find a baseline? And we're going to use the dots to inform our next step to see what they want to do. Does that make sense to everybody? Are you guys following what I'm saying? So 929.47. Let's see what we want to do. But the point is that within every move in the market, there is two possible reactions. And your job as a scalper is not to just be biased to one side or the other side, but to try to really understand where is the highest probability lie given what I'm seeing right now. Right. So, here we are, like I knew, now the market just pops as I knew it would on the move. I'm going to watch this very carefully, but if I get a, white dot, green dot structure again, I'll go now, because I think the market, once they sort of brought it down, they're going to try to squeeze the hell out of this thing for maybe 200, 100 points to the upside, just to see if they can get the shorts out of the trade. Or maybe they're going to, maybe there's just a lot of retail selling still on the open here as everybody starts panicking. I don't know. I'm going to watch the market, see how it goes. Like, here's what it's, for example, it's showing me that I have a huge reversal to the downside. And this particular candle, if I were to short on this candle, because this is a pause trade and a candle to the side, it's really massive amount of risk, right? And the question is, do you want to take that kind of, to stay in this candle legitimately, you kind of have to assume a very large amount of risk, or you can take the trade with a fixed stop and just know that you could get retraced out, right? It can it can all work both ways. I'm going to do something stupid just because I feel like it, which is that if this dot holds, I think the momentum here is so strong that I hopefully will get a little bit of continuity without the retrace risk. But I'm going to wait until, obviously, I'm only going to take one unit on this. I got in too early. And look at this. Look at the retrace risk. Let's see if I can get a little bit more momentum on this thing. Okay, so I'm in there. Not a horrible amount of retrace risk. Let's see if I get some continuity into the move. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Yeah. Okay. So again, I took a calculated risk with the indicator, knowing full well this was I would have had to assume massive risk. I only took a fixed risk on this trade, but a lot of times when you have this thing flashing you, oh, you got 5 risk or 6 risk, it's actually telling you that there's a lot of momentum behind it. When the bigger the candle, the more likely that there is going to be some sustained trading behind it. So then you just kind of have to calculate, am I going to, first of all, is there more continuity? And I have a confidence that there was. And 2, can I survive whatever retrace risk that there is in this candle? And I kind of thought, okay, I think I'm going to be able to survive the retrace risk. Let me just take the move. So I took the move. That worked out. But yeah, at least now you're fully informed. You know that you're taking a move against a very large risk. You are vulnerable to retrace risk. You could be right on the trade and wrong on the trade, wrong on the execution. All of those things are kind of just evident for you because it's feeding you back all this information in real time, right? So yeah, I mean that worked, and and I felt okay about this for a whole bunch of reasons. We're dominant negative. The market tried to go up and they just completely reversed it. There was probably going to be a lot of retail sell orders behind it, right? So all of these things kind of made me say, you know what? I think there's more continuity here. We're also, coming up to what I think is going to be a pretty interesting level here, which is this level over here, the 24,500. I think that just looms large as a massive testable level. Matter of fact, it's a level that we could reach, within the next 2 or 3 candles. And then it gets interesting because then we can really see, is that level going to show some support? And the dots will absolutely tell us if there's support there or not. And we can use the dots to trade the reversal. Or, it's just going to bust through and start printing more and more purple candles. And then we can just simply react to that as well. So this is the whole idea of how you can use what's going on in the marketplace, price action, on a classic basis with support, resistance, and everything else, plus all of the dots inputs to try to make, the most intelligent response trades. That's really what they are. Scalp trades are response trades to the markets, right? And there are only 2 types of responses you want to make to the market. You want to agree with its direction, or you want to fade its move, right? You think the proper response is that there's going to be more continuity, or the proper response is there's going to be a reversal. So this helps you read and try to make the best response you can, because that's what a scalp is. It's just basically a response to the market, right? Is the orange flag a warning or confirmation? You mean like orange, where it says Christmas tree orange, RS Hockney? Is that what you mean? Like if I were to turn on the Christmas tree labels, let me just turn them on for you. You talking about this? Well, the reason what this is telling you that the actual value, this is kind of the same thing as the R, is telling you the value of the candle is so huge that you should be mindful of retrace risk. It's basically telling you that the candle is very, very volatile, very, very volatile. That's all it's doing. It's just giving you a big volatility candle. I'm gonna get rid of this now. Just keep the Christmas tree labels off on the move. Okay, so we sort of sold off, right? Remember, we saw this huge continuity, now big reversal. Now here's where it gets interesting, guys. So they, retail sold everything, and now we have white dot, green dot, right? Now we have that secondary, pop in the marketplace, and this thing is huge now. And just look at this. It's telling me that if I want to trade this trade on a reversal basis, I am facing a 7 risk basis. I don't know if you guys can see this on a basis. I'm facing like a 6-7 R basis on the moves, right? And you just got to be at very least you're informed that this is a big risk trade. I'm gonna do it. Just what the fuck. Again, I'm capitating my risk at 3, which means that this thing could just drop and then continue going up, and I would be out of a trade that actually worked. But that's just that's at least the risks that I'm willing to take. This thing is really soaring. God, man, I hate recovery trades that just run away from me. But on the other hand, they also tend to have some continuity. So we'll see. This is not going to 8. I think if it gets up to 10 risk, I probably should not pull the trigger. So like right now it's at 8.2, 7.8. I mean, it's really, really large risk. This is huge fucking risk. We got 31 seconds left on the clock. Let's see. I think my rule of thumb is if it stays less than 8, maybe I'll take the trade. Although that's hardly an intelligent assessment. So it's going now to 5 risk. It's coming back down, which is good because I like that. All right, now I'm in the trade. Let's see where I'm at. Let's see where it's going to go. I'm in the trade. I'm just getting wider. So I have 30-point stop, and let's see if I can get it. And we got resolved. And that was actually a decent intelligence analysis, right? Because what did all of this tell us? It told us in real time. Okay, we have the setup, but the setup is hugely volatile, right? However, we're entering not at the high of this candle, because this candle retraced and gave us the opportunity to take a relatively intelligent risk. Because if the candle stayed at the top here, the risk would have been 8-9, right? And maybe it would have worked, but it also could have just very easily dropped 30 points and just stopped us out, right? So all of these things you kind of put under consideration when you're trading the move. And this helped me make a relatively intelligent decision that worked very, very, very well. Dustin, whatever settings you put on BFF, it remembers it. So whatever settings you set last, those are the settings that are set up. You guys sort of following what I'm talking about and what I'm showing you as far as the trading goes. So now we're in a reversal mode. We really don't have much to do. We had the reversal trade was just this green dot, white dot, green dot. It really showed us true quality reversal moves, right? Now we're just going to chill out. Did the market test here, and are we done, or are we going to just kind of come back up to 200 and begin to fail? We don't know. We'll wait for the reaction. We'll see. Maybe it's going to fail over here and go right back into trend, at which point we can reestablish our trend structures. Let's switch over to gold just to see what's going on with gold. Gold, by the way, gold is really mirroring NASDAQ in its kind of signature format here. So gold here also, trading green dot, red dot. And here, I actually like this I'm gonna do this. So I'm under the candle close. So I'm getting a decent entry into gold. I do have a white dot, green dot. I'm trading gold on a 2-6 basis, meaning 2 target, 6 stop. And let's see if this is going to work for me on, again, the same signature idea. But obviously, and it does. And and this was a very, very good thing. Now, however, if I was over here at 68, it went all the way down to 62 and would have stopped me out, because this was a massive risk. This was like a 6-7 risk. Now, by the way, the only problem with the way this setup is, I have to change. Unfortunately, there's no way to. You have to change your fixed area. And if I change my fixed area, you can see that this was a like a greater than 3R risk. This would have been like a much greater than 3R risk. But so if I just for argument's sake, I'm just trying to understand. If I bought this was 68.4. The absolute low on this was 62.4. Literally would have stopped me out. Literally would have stopped me out. This is why gold is such a tough trade, man. Gold would have literally stopped me out if I had a fixed, 3-to-1 risk. And you don't want to trade with anything worse than that, because in the long run, it just doesn't play. So it's almost like, with gold, I guess you sort of have to say, you know what, here's my parameters, and I'm going to just simply put a bid underneath here. Now, if the thing runs away and goes too forward, it just runs away, it makes $2 without retracing, then great. I just, I gave up a trade, I gave up the profit. If, however, basically what happened to me naturally, it retraced down to a level where my risk reward was within the parameters, I was able to resolve it positively. I think gold, you almost have to, if the gold risk is outside of your parameters, then the only way to trade this is on a retrace basis, because it is such a retracey little trade. Gold really retraces hard. And you can't count on it. You can't count on the continuity the way you could count on continuity in NASDAQ. So it's a little bit of a different beast, and you got to trade it a little bit differently. Do I take the white candle? No. So the reason why I'm not taking the white candle, I'm just sort of trading. Remember, we're in a reversal mode. Gold is just grossly sold, right? So what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to trade the highest probability reversal trade, which is the first reversal trade right over here, right? That's the first reversal trade. Now, if this thing starts, printing a whole bunch of white candles, maybe I'll feel confident that this is, this reversal is real. But right now, the reversal has to prove to me that it's actually a trend. Like, this doesn't have to prove to me that it's a trend, because I know it's a downward trend. So I want to be selling. Like, if I go into gold, I want to be selling every pause candle, right? So I want to be selling this right over here. I could be selling this. I could be selling this, because I don't need any proof. I have the proof. Here, this really's got to, work hard for me to prove that this is not just a flash in the pan reversal trade. By the way, NASDAQ, look at NASDAQ. That talk about not a flash in the pan. That's really turning itself around. It's still, when you're looking at this whole thing, still a negative trend trade. Still very much a negative trend trade. So there's nothing to do here for a while, because the scenarios could be the following. This thing is so strong, we turn positive. 8 crosses the 200, and then we completely change our orientation to positive trades. Or it kind of exhausts itself at this level and flattens out, and then we start, reselling. And if we start reselling, we'll get short again. Or it flattens out, comes back down a little bit, and then does a white-green reversal move from higher levels, and then we certainly want to go long, because that's already confirming to us that it's not just a reversal move, but it's a reversal move from the higher levels. So we are open to any scenario that makes the highest probability sense for us to trade. Right now, we don't know where it's going to go. It's a sea of uncertainty. So we're just simply going to let the market play itself out without having to chase any of these trades, right? So, oh, somebody was saying, Dustin, you were saying, is there a way to remember all of this? Yes, there's in TradingView, there's an absolute way to remember all of this, every single setting. How do you remember every single setting? Let me show you. So you would do this. So for example, I wanted to remember, this is my permanent NASDAQ settings, right? So these are my permanent NASDAQ settings. I set them all up. So what I want to do is I want to go in here, which is templates, right? And I want to save indicator template. And I want to call this, I don't know. I want to remember the symbol. I want to remember the interval. And I want to call it my I don't know, NAS 10-point scalp. Okay. And if I save that template, once I apply it, will have every setting that I want. And then conversely, let's say I want to go to gold, and I change this one key setting, which is the fixed take profits, to, I don't know, 20, right? And say okay, and then I could just simply save this as a gold 2-point scalp. Save that, right? And now, depending on which instrument I'm in, if I change to NASDAQ, I just simply change to NAS 10-point scalp, and it's going to remember all my settings and give me the proper R figures, and give me the right trades. Okay, so that's kind of how you construct all of this. So this is a bunch of very strong pull away candles. Like for example, this pull away candle, if you were trading it to the bottom of the candle, that's about a 4R trade. This is the third or the fourth one there. Now I will tell you something. I'm going to do something just for shits and giggles, which again, this is. Oh, that was so fast. That was super fast. Let me show you what I did. I love doing this trade, but again, this is the do as I say, not as I do trades. Let me show you. Oh, why did this go 20? Oh, because this was a 2060. This was a 5 retrace, right? This was a 5 retrace, right? This is still a counter trend move, right? Once it gets to about the third or the fourth consecutive white candle, I'm going to do the same thing again here. This is a very strong short covering rally, but I'm going to bet that if this is going to be a pull away candle, third pull away candle in a row, I'm going to sell the top of this candle, but I'm going to do it actually with a 10-30 structure. Now this assumes this candle stays white, and the whole idea here is I'm just going to fade it. Now this is the exact opposite of what I tell you to do. This is not buying momentum, but I love selling momentum in a counter trend fashion after it's kind of done 3 or 4 moves like this, because the question is, what's the higher probability that this is going to continue another 30 points higher, or it's going to have a little bit of a retrace? As long as I can cash the top. See, unfortunately, this really sucks. Now I don't have the retrace. Sometimes happens right off the top, and that then it's not a trade. You don't want to. I want to be at the high of that candle. So now that's not a trade. It's fine. You can't have it all. Now the problem is that the profit already happened, and if you try to short over here, it can easily race back up, stop you out, and then come back down. So these trades are really only good when the candle closes really strongly on the white, a really strong white candle. Like even here, I could have done it. It would, as long as you had just a white candle close, you probably could have done the retrace. What was this, 97 to? Yeah, you could have done this super fast moves. But now it's now it's kind of changed its whole nature, and it's clear that it's had this big rally. Let me just get rid of all the let me get all the execution marks so you guys are not confused. It's clear that it's had this big rally, and and now it's kind of, exhausting itself, right? Like it wouldn't have been, it definitely would have been a pretty good idea to short here because that's the higher probability trade. Now it's kind of like a 50-50 bet. You really don't have any edge, so there's nothing to do. That's the whole idea is when you're reading all of these things, the key question is, where do you think that, the higher edge lies, on the continuity or on the reversal? And that's, where you try to make try to make your bet. Let's see what gold is doing with itself. Gold is still in a pretty serious decline, right? And 60-20, I want to do where's my 60-20? 2060. So this is where I hesitate, and I'll tell you why I hesitate. I hesitate here because I do have a red candle. I do have a negative trend, but the slope is green, right? And to really short something with confidence, you want the slope to be red. And so this wasn't like a 70-80% confidence trade, and it actually would not have worked. And that's why I'm glad I hesitated on shorting. So there wasn't everything. If we were like in this kind of a condition where we had a pause and the slope was negative and we had a red dot, yeah, I would have traded that. But now this is this is not the trade that I got. Gold, in fact, looks like it continues to go higher. And it's probably, again, I don't have a strong vibe either way on which way it wants to go, but that's why I'm going to leave it alone. So look, now NASDAQ is really, really expanding. Still a minute on the clock. Let's see if I could. Now, if this stays white, even if I'm wrong, I think this is it's a pretty decent fade trade in my opinion, because you've had this. Although now as I say this, we actually changed the trend to the upside. It's probably kind of stupid to fade this move, but I'll give it a try. It's really the probability that this is going to be a retrace trade, I think, is pretty high. So I'm gonna. Okay, I sold this. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I'm short too. Okay, fine. So 3 seconds left. Does this extend or is this going to correct? I got in a little bit too low. Do I have a corrective move or is it going to be an extension? Now remember, I said this is kind of stupid because the trend now turned positive, so I'm probably fading the wrong move. But it's fine. If I eat this, I eat this. I knew what I was doing when I started this. All right, I'm going to take. I took it early because I mistimed my trade, and it's probably going to work. But I mistimed my trade, so I didn't want to see. It actually did work. There was 2 things that I did here by accident that I did wrong. I actually double traded. I wanted to be only 1 large, so being 2 large put me into a vulnerable position. But this thing worked. Fading here on the close 37. It went 55 against me, but then it dropped all the way down to 16. It would have been an easy comeback trade. Can you customize templates on wealth charts? Yes, you can. You just on wealth charts you can do. You can hit the save button. In fact, like in about 5 minutes, we're going to switch to wealth charts. I just sort of wanted to show you all of the all of the the new bells and whistles of TradingView, and then we'll switch to L charts. But you know, this was a good idea that I butchered in execution, which happens all the time. But my purpose here is to share the ideas with you, because then once you get the ideas, you'll be able to execute them much better than I will. I'm just on one account right now, yes, because I'm basically demonstrating. I'm on my TradeOvate account. I'm just demonstrating the entry-exit structures. In about 5-10 minutes, we'll switch over to L charts, and I'll start rotating accounts, and we'll start rotating trades, right? But for now, I just wanted to kind of show you all the various setups that we were doing. So, like, you can see here's the whole history of my trades, which looks like St. Valentine's Day Massacre. But we bought it here, we sold it here. You can see all of the history of the trades that I was doing for the day, and it just gives you an idea of the setups. All right, I'm gonna do. It's not. If it gives me that opportunity, if this ends up white, I will be shorting this, just because. Now, I could be making a cardinal error, and I'm perfectly willing to admit it. But I'm not going to do it. I'm only going to do it with just one single entry structure. So I'm not going to worry about it. Two things are going to have to happen in order for me to trade. The candle has to end up white, and I'm only going to do one single trade. And the idea here is, yes, it could be a situation where we're just having this massive short covering rally, but it really looks to me like it's much more of an exhaustive move than a full short covering rally. But hard as it is for me to just wait patiently, I need to wait until the candle closes, because you really want to be as close to the candle location as possible, and unfortunately, this is just, it may not close white for me. We'll see. Now, see, it's kind of just dying out. All right, you know what? I'm entering this on the assumption that this was a white candle. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. I'm probably wrong. But again, I'm just making a probability assessment that after such a big move, a retrace is a little more likely than a full extension for another 30 points higher. But, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Or I could be right, which is what I like to be much more. So you kind of get, you get the idea of like this was close enough to being white that I thought there was going to be a chance of retrace, right? And again, what I say to you earlier, that scalping is just figuring out the response to the market. So we shorted 52s, we covered at 42s, right? Everybody sees that. That was a trade, right? And not getting crazy on size, not doing anything insane. That's all I'm doing. $10 a.m. power hour. All right, so thank you. It's actually 10 a.m. Untouchables remind me. So let's rotate to wealth charts, and we will follow the same concepts, the same precepts. But now we're just going to rotate through our accounts. We got the 6 accounts. We'll rotate through them on a. Let's make sure I set up my setups here. So I'm on NASDAQ. I want to trade one. One of the things, what I love about wealth charts is. Wait, how did I see this? There was this little. What did this thing do? Oh, this is cool. So, okay, one, and then you can actually choose multi-bracket or simple bracket. So if I choose multi-bracket, let me just see. I'm going to try to set up these setups. Strategy setup. Oh, this is kind of cool. All right, let's try to do this. So this obviously does you multiple brackets, but I'm going to use it in a single bracket format. So 41 120. Save strategy. Oh, no, I don't want to save 1030. Ugh. How do I save as? I don't. No. No. I'm trying to learn how to do this as a save a strategy. Oh, add new strategy. Okay. Multi-bracket. Damn. Let me try this. Sorry. While we're putzing around here. Multi-bracket. Strategy setup. Add new strategy. So, this is a 4120. I already have a 4120. Okay, cool. Close. 4120. This shows it over here on a day basis. So if I wanted to switch it around and I went to multi-bracket, oh no, I would just go like this, and I could just simply, how do I, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out how to switch quickly through strategies. So you have to click on that, and then you have to click the various strategies on this. So let's delete this. Let's delete this because I just want two strategies in there, one for gold and one for NASDAQ, 4020, and one for gold, which will be add new strategy. Strategy name will be 2060. And I'll save it. Okay. So now I can just rotate between 4120, 2060, one for gold. I have this 4120 close MB. So now this is all preset up for my NASDAQ parameters. And then if I switch to gold, for example, if I switch to gold, right, I can just go in here and go strategy setup 2060 like this, close, and it's kind of very, very fast. And now if I want to switch to 4020, I can just go 4020, close, 4020, and I can switch over to NASDAQ. So it just makes it a lot easier to switch it around. Yeah, I'm doing new strategy first. That's it. I'm just learning how to do that. Let's take a look what gold is doing. Actually, I didn't even look at gold. Where's gold? Gold is actually negative. So like here we are. Let's go. Like gold is. Let's go to gold strategy. 2060. Close. And we're going to sell this. Sell market. All right. So not a great trade here. Because the slope was green. I wasn't watching. This is my big problem is I'm not watching everything perfectly. This was a red candle but a green slope. Shouldn't have done this trade. Probably should just you know what? I'm just gonna flatten out. Not a trade that I want to be in. So if I don't want to be in this trade, I don't want to be in this trade. Let's wait until we get actual red slope on the gold. No need to be a stupid hero on this. All right, let's switch to NQ. Let's see what it's doing. So remember, now we're positive bid NASDAQ. NASDAQ is positive bid, so we're looking for up trade signals, which is a pause candle and a green dot move or a white dot move. Given the fact that we had this massive 620, 300-point move in NASDAQ. Wow, it's a massive move in NASDAQ. We might have some consolidation, so it's fine. We will, we'll wait around. Would I take the first reversal? What do you mean by first reversal, Lee? Oh, you mean like this reversal over here? No, I wouldn't. It's because it hasn't really established, you know, trend here, right? It's just kind of the slope here. First of all, is green, so it's really not a trade that I want to take. This is not a time where I really want the fade move, the selling the move was really high probability off the white candle. Here it's like a 50-50. I have no idea if it's going to go down or shoot back up. I'm going to let the market tell me what it wants to do. Like right now, I'm really guessing. I'm not speculating, right? This was an intelligent speculation. Right now, this would be just a pure fucking guess. I don't even have signals, you know, much less anything else. So I'm happy to chill. Like the cool thing about this is that you are not obligated to you know, to act on all of this. Here, by the way, I do have a signal. Now we have a positive trend. I have a pause candle. I have a green dot. Right. This stays as is. You know, I'm willing to trade this. So I don't know. Let's go to the 18 account. 53 seconds left. This dot has got to stay. Now, if the dot doesn't stay, if they can't hold the highs, then it's not really a trade, and they obviously can't. So that's fine. I mean, you know, this thing has had a big move, and now it's what do you see over here? The 25,000 level. 25,000 level is getting smacked, right? What I call the pause candle is the candle that doesn't have a dot. What you want to do is no dot dot. No dot dot is the sequence you're looking for. No dot dot is the sequence. Means no highs or lows on the candle prior. You know, highs and lows on the candle current, and that's your signature move, right? So if you were here's an example of, let me just go to. So if you look at this is a candle that has no dot, right? And this is a candle that has dot. So I would be short this candle right here. Obviously, it falls like a cliff. That's the sequence. That's what I call pause momentum, right? Yeah. Who loves my little magnifier? Tell me that magnifier is not the greatest freaking thing on the browser add-on. It's like the boomer special, right? Everybody with bad eyes. Oh, I need my magnifying glass. That's super awesome, right? Good morning, everybody. It looks like we got a whole bunch of new people just rolled in over the last hour. You're probably going, what the fuck is he doing? There's so many trades going off. Introduce yourselves. Say hello. Cheryl says she loves it. I know my audience. I know my audience. Yes, babies. We are literally, you know, one step away from the rocking chair. All of us. God damn it. Just kill me now, please. Just kill me now. My kids have distinct instructions, you know, that if I am a babbling idiot, they are to put me into the Hudson River right away. I do not want to spend my golden years chained to a bed in some fucking old people's home. Please, you know, I'd like to go out in style. That's my direct instructions. But until then, we're going to put up a good fight, right? Oh, Jesus. Sorry, guys. I got some in my eyes. Anyways, who's new in the room? Say hello to me. I'm happy to explain what we're doing. We did a lot of kind of very interesting, sophisticated, on the fly scalp trades today. Now we're just kind of waiting to see. We're waiting to see what the market wants to give us next, right? Where are we now? By the way, look how good it was for me to not have stayed in that trade, because that would have probably stopped me out before it dropped to the downside. So that was good for me to have left gold alone and just get out when I realized I was wrong. Gold is, where's gold? Gold is still in a big reversal mode, right? Big reversal mode, trying to figure out if the reversal move is kind of stopped, or whether it wants to fuel itself higher. The only way I'm going to take a long trade is if I have a white dot, green dot combo over here, like on a reversal basis. If this thing dies out, we should have a nice clean red trades start coming up. For now, there's nothing much going on here. We'll go back to NASDAQ and see what that wants to do. NASDAQ is clearly a much stronger. Ooh, NASDAQ again, flirting with that green dot, but just can't. It tries to rally towards 25,000. Can't hold the highs. That's what it's really telling us. Since it can't hold the highs, there's no reason for us to do anything. I mean, there's clearly sellers at that level, right? And they're just trying to, gun it down. That having been said, this was a very, very healthy rally, and unless something gets, really, really ugly as the day goes by, to me, what this is saying is that they're going to consolidate, and then once they bust the 25,000, they're going to squeeze the shit out of the shorts. So I'm happy to join that move when and if that happens. But until that happens, I'm just waiting for a reaction. Yes, if you want to change the countdown, it's very, very easy. This is running full 2 minutes, right? Does it annoy you, Laura, or are you just asking how do you do it for like less? If you want to in well charts, you go over here. Sorry, you go over here. Sorry, you go into over here. Oh, I have a reversal candle here in NASDAQ, but that's tempting as it is. This is the pink red reversal. Do I want to take it? We'll see. I'm going to pass up on it just for now, but just to show you how to set up the parameters. If you go over here to this should start at 30 seconds. Why is it doing? That's interesting. Maybe there's a bug in the maybe there's a bug in the thing. Let me just try this. Let's do 20 seconds. First of all, you can just turn this off, right? Let's say if I apply this, and now the countdown candle goes. But then if I go in here and I go to parameters, turn this on, let's say 20 seconds. Let's see if that's now it's turning on 20 seconds before. Let's see if that works. Like if the countdown does not restart, if it only starts at 20 seconds to the close. No, I don't know what's going on. I think there's a bug in the thing. $72. So this was a big reversal. We could have taken this reversal to the downside. I'm choosing not to. Like this trade would have worked to the downside, but since it already happened, I'm choosing not to. Yeah, it doesn't work. You're right. It looks like there's a little bit of a bug here. Next time we you can just turn it off completely. Remember, there's a countdown over here too. You can easily use this countdown. This is just to make it easier for you to be able to see it. If it bothers you guys, we can easily take this off. It's not a big deal. This was one of the reasons why I was leery of doing this. It's a big R move, right? And it's negative trend. So the retrace possibility, meaning that this kind of bottomed out and just bopped, could have been very, very strong. So, now we have, now I'm actually perfectly okay taking this to the long side if this is a white dot, because the combo that I'm looking for within trend is no dot dot or opposite dot dot. So this was a red dot, white dot. It's just a complete reversal. It's kind of like an engulfing. It's like a version of an engulfing candle. It's a big ass move. The risk is pretty big here. But if the white dot stays, I'm willing to play the game. 10, 11 seconds left. All right, I'm long this thing. Let's see where I'm at. And we're done. And that's why I like the trade. The reason why that was a high probability trade is because this was a kind of a version of an engulfing candle, right? Great, boom, boom, boom. My favorite kind of trade, super fast. Make it last. Did I have the right settings on this? Let me just make sure. Oh, I had a 2060. Fuck. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. Shit. This would have made me a full amount of money. All right, let's just. This is the only thing that really annoys me about how to do this is that do you know what probably is more intelligent? I just realized. Is there a way to clone this? Can I do this? Is there a way to clone this? Duplicate this chart? Anybody know this? Duplicate chart. Okay, I'm going to put this over here, right? And if I'm duplicating this chart, here's the panel. So I think here's what I'm going to do to make our life much easier. So this one is going to, I'm going to add favorites. Favorite symbol MNQ, add favorite symbol micro gold, add favorite symbol NQ. Oh no, maybe, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Wait, what happened here? Where's my favorites? Oh, favorite symbols. Okay, apply. Okay, cool. So this is all set up, right? And we're going to go to multi-bracket. In here. Oh, and I have to set up. Oh, I have to, for each chart I have to set up a new thing. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm actually I don't even need to do multi-bracket. We're going to do simple bracket because this is going to make this super easy. This is going to be a permanent gold thing at 2060. So I don't have to, basically I don't have to switch my settings. And stop loss, oops. $60. Okay, close. That's going to be my simple bracket for gold. So in this particular chart, I'll always be trading gold, which, by the way, setting up for a white-green structure, right? So if we get a green dot, we definitely have a chance to trade gold, right? And then on this one, we're going to just simply trade NASDAQ. And we can trade it at even simple bracket here on 4120. And then we don't have to worry because we know every time we hit the buy button, sell button, it's all going to be preset. So this way, we're in really good shape. Now we're just going to switch accounts we'll go to the next account, which is the 19 account, just to see what the next setups will be, and then we'll take the trade in that account. Make sure you color code the chart to the DOM. So I think these are both color coded to the yellow, so it should be good, right? They're both yellows, right? So I'm in good shape. Am I right? let's see. I want to go to MGC. Yeah, it's color coded. It's color coded. All right, actually, let's look at gold, because we actually may have a setup in gold. Let's see if gold wants to give me a green dot and show me further, continuity on the trade. I'm going to save this whole setup for myself. Save that. If you guys want me to give you the export, here's the export of this layout. If you guys want this layout, I'm just putting it in here. All right, gold not really showing a lot of further upside just yet. Let's see if we want to pop one. No, nothing on gold. Oh, the charts are, oh, that sucks. The charts are all tied together. I don't want the chart to be tied together. Can I untie this? None. But then if I untie it, let me see what happens here. MGC, but then it doesn't tie to the thing. What is this ST time frame link? Oh, that really sucks. All right, whatever. I guess I'll tie them all together. So this is, a sell-off in gold, but the slope is still green. There's nothing to do here, because this is a pause dot trade, but the slope is green. Not a trade I want to take. It was the exact same setup as we had before, right over here, right, and that's just not a viable setup. We need it to be red. So maybe a couple of candles here before we can even think about doing a short here. Change the symbol link to a different color. I don't know how to change the symbol link. See, if I change the symbol link, it doesn't. The trading DOM doesn't change. That's my problem. So I'd rather just change symbols than, because I want the DOM to be tied. I'll try to figure out with the guys at Well Charts how to do this. All right, slope is turning red now. If this candle kind of stays, neutral, I guess is the way you want to describe it, and then we get another red dot candle, that's going to be a good setup for us to the short side on NAS. Let's take a look what on gold. See what NASDAQ is doing. So remember, I told you I thought NASDAQ was going to kind of hold bid now. Let's see if NASDAQ wants to run the 25,000. That's going to be the short squeeze that they're going to hate, because the shorts were all primed to break 24.5, and now they can't. Now they're sitting up here, twiddling their thumbs. Or you have to choose on that. You have to have two DOMs. Ah. Oh, you mean like you have a DOM side by side? You have like two DOMs side by side? Is that what you have, Ben? That sucks. That's like such a waste of real estate. So should I take the short? I will say, all right, why not? No, you know what? I'm not taking. Well, no, why not? It's not horrendously bad. The slope was negative. We had a pause, sell against. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Flatten out, flatten out. Get out, get out, get out. Sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. I'm sorry. We're a positive trend. So the only way I should have taken this short is if I had a purple dot, red dot. I'm sorry. I'm just losing my focus here of what I want to be doing. No. Now we're setting up the exact same thing that we had before, the engulfing candle, the big run to the upside. So let's see if we can make this a buy trade. A buck one on the clock here. I'm going to turn the countdown candle off because it's actually helpful to me to see it on the charts. So you'll see this is a big ass reversal candle. So I absolutely want to be a buyer here. All right, we'll stay patient to see if we can get some continuity. But this is screaming continuity to me. Obviously, it's going up against us 25,000, but the bet here is that they're going to run it now. All right, I'm just going to get long here because I'm just going to bet on the fact that they're going to run it. And they do. You see how they run. You see how fast they run that level. So like you can totally see how dots, price action, key levels, functionality, even basic candlestick analysis, all of that combines to put you on the right side of the trade as you trade, right? That was very, very clean, very easy trade. You could just see that they were just running through that stops. And you could have just joined that. Anybody take that trade? Anybody take that trade with me? Boom, boom. That was like a very, very easy trade. Enter long, exit long, make it rain. Laura did. Good job. Lee's still in it. You're just milking it all the way. But again, what I'm hoping that you guys can actually, all of you guys see, and those of you guys who are new in the room, this is the BFF dot indicator that I wrote that really, really helps you enter in the best tactical place you can. Like the whole idea here is to use these dots to help you understand exactly what's going on in the market at this specific time and bet on the side of the winning trade versus the losing trade. Read the market really, really well. We talked about how the 25,000 was a big resist area for 2 or 3 times, and then when they started running it, like in other words, we had a red dot, white dot reversal, big engulfing candle. That was a strong confidence to us that they were going to push it higher, and we just joined the move, and it was super easy to resolve it. A good job, Lee. Good job. I'm glad everybody made money. That's what we want. That's what it's all about. Let's take a look at what gold is doing. Gold actually has a trade. Let's see if I can do this. Let's do long gold. Remember, white dot, green dot, pretty decent construct. Let's see if gold. This is the buy continuity trade. We're a little bit underneath the actual close. Let's see if this works for me. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Jesus. Gold is such a piece of shit these days. It's really not a it's not you can't even make an argument that it's a great short trade because the shorts are dying and the longs are dying. Gold is just one step and stop. It's been the story of my life this whole week. I make all the money in NASDAQ and then we give some of it back in gold. Fuck you. Yeah. It just reversed, just did not do it. It's just really not having a lot of continuity. I'm getting out of this thing. I don't care if it works or not. I should have gotten out of it when it was flat. I thought maybe it was going to rally back up. It's a piece of shit trade, piece of shit market. I'm going back to NASDAQ. NASDAQ broke 25,000. We get a green dot here. That should be a nice continuity trade. 14 seconds left. This green dot holds. If it holds, we'll be in the trade. It's a pause dot trade, right? With trend. Nope, doesn't hold. Doesn't hold. Gold's still doing nothing. Finally starting to move a little bit here. All right, let's watch the NASDAQ. Let's see if we can get more productive trades there. Feels like we're going into the Friday stall, right? We had these great, nice, big moves, and now volatility really, really compressed. No direction anywhere is right. Super close. "32 seconds. Let's see if this candle holds the highs, gives us a opportunity to get long NASDAQ. All right, I'm in the trade. And we're done. Nice clean trade. Boom, boom, boom. So lessons today are: one, be tactical. Two, trade the instrument that's working, right? Always be with the one you love, right? Is that how the song goes? If you can't be with the one you love, be with the one you're with. What the fuck? I forgot all those lyrics. What the hell is it? What are the lyrics of those songs? Who remembers that song? Anyways, it's a great motto for trading. It may not be a great motto for relationships, but it's a great motto for trading. What is it? How does that go? If you can't love the one, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. That's it. Love the one you're with, right? Oh man, what a great lyrics there was in the 70s. Anyways, yes, when you're a speculator, you need to be a complete and total slut. You got to choose what's working. This isn't, this is markets. This is not family life. You got to go with the instrument that's working. So, and obviously NASDAQ is working really, really well. I can tell like the demo of everybody in the room by the fact that the people who know the lyrics are the first ones to put them down. Clearly not a lot of Gen Zs in the room today. Anyways, look at that nice move, right? I mean, again, as I said, we scalp, but you don't have to. You could turn it into a massively large trade. Like for example, you could have just simply, if you're a positional trader, like there are a lot of people in the room here, you could, we broke above, we held the level here. This engulfing candle could have been an entry for a multi high point move. With the stop over here. The white dot is your reference point as a stop. Could have easily been a great trade here for the upside. It just all depends on your personality. I can't hold trades for more than a minute, so I've optimized my trading to my personality. But if you have the patience to hold them for a long time, you can kill it using dots. If you guys are interested, get paid no kissing. That's really bad. Let me, for those of you guys who are new and want to get the indicator, this is the coaching package. Go out there and get it. As a matter of fact, actually forget the coaching package, because the really great package that we have right now, the Black Friday package, is this one. Because here you're going to get everything, but for life. So if you're interested in the lifetime package, please take advantage of it, because it's literally like last few days I'm going to do this Black Friday, and then it's going to go away, and then you're going to be begging me for it, just like, you know, everybody wants to buy the 90% discounts, and Kay is going to tell me no. So just please, you know, if you have a chance, go out there and do it. All right, let me return to the crime of the scene here, to the scene of the crime, to the crime of the scene. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Oh no, that's Nasdaq. I was like, nah, yeah, this is just dead money. You know what definition of dead money in our game is? This is definition of dead money. Okay, and I'll give you a really good visual clue to how you know you don't want to touch this, how you know that the market is radioactive to our type of trading, right? The way you notice is when you don't have lots of white or purple candles. Like in the last hour, we have literally 0 white or purple candles. For us to get interested in the market, we need at least 3 whites or 3 purples to create the directional volatility for continuity, right? Oh, you saw the replay on your email? Yeah. No, absolutely. So you see what I'm saying to you over here? Like, this is just dead money. There's no volatility. So let's go take a look at NASDAQ conversely, right? Look at NASDAQ. That is, look at how many in the last, just even 2 or 3s in the last hour. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those white and purple candles, because what that's telling us is that there is volatility in the market. It's not a dead market. This market has been volatile for the last 2 hours. That's why it's been so fucking easy to trade, right? This market has been deader than this market has just been flat. Even like, you know, from that, this is where the market was good. The market was great from 8:30. You had lots of other volatility, right? You had a little bit more over here, and then we just died. Like, this is death, right? And honestly, what we should be telling ourselves right now with gold is, I need to see at least 2 or 3 whites or purples just to come back and become interested in it. Because you know what that means? Visually, this is an easy shortcut, but algorithmically and mathematically, what this means is I needed to pull away from the mean. When it's stuck to the moving average, like, what is it, white on rice? Is that the expression? Is that the expression in the South? Stuck like white on rice? When it's basically glued to the moving average, it is a piece of living shit trade. It is a trade you don't want to touch with a radioactive pole, because no matter what you do, you will lose. I want to repeat this again. No matter what you do, you will lose, because it will not continue up or down, right? I mean, the only thing you actually, I take it back. If you're in a completely fade mode, the way you win in this market is you do the Costanza. This is really the Costanza market. This is the market where you literally buy every red dot and you sell every white dot. You want to do that, you're guaranteed to win. But you know, we don't trade the Costanza market. But that is the Costanza market. The Costanza market is where everything is flipped the other way until you start seeing some whites or some purples, until you start seeing deviation from the mean. Does that make sense to everybody? You guys seeing what I'm saying? So this is really the Costanza market. This is the first candle in an hour that's kind of changing the dynamic of the market, possibly. Let's go back to NAS. And look at NAS. NAS is just blowing through. You know, we caught the nice moves. All right, now we're gonna play the stupid game just for fun. Let me go to a different account because I certainly don't want to do stupid games in the same account. All right, let's go to the 20 account. And the stupid game is this. We have a strong uptrend, right? But the trend is really pulling away from the mean now. We have a 3 in a row white candles. Assuming, it's a big assumption, this white candle closes white, meaning it closes on a massive pull away move. The possibility that we have a little bit of a retrace is not a bad one. Now I'm fully cognizant that this could go 4 or 5 in a row. So you only want to do this with a very limited capitated risk. But assuming that I can maybe sell it somewhere at the highs of this candle, I might have a reasonable chance here for a retrace. The basic spec over here is that the probability of it going higher still is lower than the probability of it retracing. It's not, 80 to 20, but maybe like, 70 to 30. Like if it goes 4 in a row, it really becomes like 75-25 for a fade. 5 in a row, it really becomes like, this, because that's a very strong pull away move. But they're definitely just, pressing the hell out of this thing right now. So let's give it a shot. Join ask. Try to get myself at a better price. Okay, so I'm in over here. Let's widen this up. Widen this up. You guys can see it. Does it come back, or is it going to go 4 large against me? It might go 4 large against me, and it's fine. I was fully cognizant of this. I knew that this could happen. But let's see. And we're done. As I said, play stupid games. Sometimes you win intelligent prices, but at least you understand what my methodology of this was, right? You can see why am I not adding music to the playlist? Listening to the same motivational tracks while trading would be great. That's really nice songs. Oh, you mean like play the songs while I'm trading, Peter? While I'm trading, I could do that, but I'm trying to teach, and people get very annoyed when there's a song in the while I'm talking. Laura, you like the Costanza? Ben says, please no music while trading. See, what I would do, I'm actually, so Peter, I do love your idea for like a very interesting, live. I'm tempted to do this. I'm really tempted to do this. And so like, tell me if you guys would find this interesting. So I want to do a live where I'm not on screen, right? Where I'm like, you don't hear me talking, you don't hear me doing dick all. All I'm doing is trading. And then you're listening, then we just put everything into I wonder if we could actually put it into a playlist. I wonder if you can do a playlist with all my songs. And I'm just playing the playlist. And you guys just watching me trade. There's no explanation. There's just you guys watching me trade. Gary's saying gold is breaking out. But I am kind of tempted to do like a mute, 1920s silent movies live, because I think it could be a lot of fun. Tony likes it because I think it could be a lot of fun. I do find the music actually really soothing when you're trading because it is very motivational and it does help you focus. But then the point is that there's just no explanation. I'm not really teaching anything. I'm just doing it, and you guys are just kind of watching me trade. All right, let's go look at gold. Let's go look at this piece of shit nemesis of mine today. All right, yeah, okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Gold finally starting to look like it's coming back from the dead, right? And I probably could have taken this trade over here, but I'm not going to. But right now, at least gold is maybe in a mode where we could find some interesting trades. The question is, what are the interesting trades that we can find in gold right now? And the answer is the following: gold is clearly having it's following NASDAQ higher. It's risk on. It's still negative trend. It's still underneath the 200. It's still weaker on a 200-period SMA. Possible trades that we could have here is if this uptrend, this little trend slice holds, and we have a neutral candle, green dot candle, that would be a positive breakout. If this thing sort of dies out, curls over, and starts turning red, then yes, that would be a good one because we've had a deviation to the upside and then a complete reversal to below the mean to the downside. That's enough volatility for some continuity possibilities. Most likely right now, given the fact that the bias is positive, let me switch around these accounts because let me go to maybe the 23 account. Then what could be happening is a neutral candle, green dot candle. That would be the most likely scenario with a run towards the 4100, a little bit above 4100, right? That's now becomes the key level to run. So we'll see how that plays out. But for right now, we got nothing going on here. Even if this is a neutral candle, we can come back to it in a minute to look at gold. Look at NAS. So NASDAQ is topping out a little bit above the 25,200. Really, really a lot of move. Could be a consolidation move. I'm still a lot more biased to the long side of NASDAQ. But if the NASDAQ starts to sell off, we start seeing pink, red slope. Pink, red slope. That's a reversal signal in the upside move, right? And that's a legit signal for us. But that could be a 2 or 3 candle away structure. And here's the other scenario I said is that we kind of exhaust the upside move in gold and start to sell off again. We'll see that happens. Gold is still very indeterminate. Really no edge in any of these trades. No real possibilities for us to do anything. So we'll come back to it later. Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, I just realized something really cool also. Here's what I realized, guys. Here's how we can do. I think we can do this. Let me see. This is the cool thing about a wealth charts. Let me do duplicate tab, right? So I think we can do separate tabs with separate structures. So here's NAS with single bracket. Where's my single bracket? Okay, so this one should be gold. Okay, this is gold with 2060 single bracket, right? This is gold. And this is NAS with, nah, fuck this. I want the simple bracket to be, let's do it this way. All right. Let's see if this, so what we can do now is, I don't have to worry about switching because both the let me see if this works. All right, so this is tied MGC MNQ. This is tied over here. If I go over here, MNQ MGC on the SB 2060, and this is SB 40. Yeah. So we can just go different tabs. That makes it so much easier, right? So now we just switch tabs, and now everything is preset, and we're ready to go. Bye-bye, Steve. Have a great time at a dentist. I don't think nobody has ever said those words to anybody. Have a great time at a dentist. Oh yeah, you know what, George? That's a really good idea. I gotta research that. But you know what? I'm gonna do that. That's such a good idea because we have like 4 or 5 songs that are in play. Okay, so let's watch this. Let me kind of narrate what's going on in NASDAQ to make you understand my thought pattern on all of this, right? So NAS is big rally up, a little bit of a corrective move. Why is this not even remotely a trade for us? Well, it's not even remotely a trade for us. It's because the slope of NAS is still very positive. There's just so much positive momentum here. It's not really a sell-off. Now you could have said, well, you had a purple dot, red dot. This was a reversal trade. You could have shorted this at 15, and it did go down to 97. You could have made money. Yes, you could have made money. In this particular case, the exception worked. But generally, it could have been, you could have just stuffed yourself the other way around. It wasn't a good enough edge for me to want to take that trade. So just because this particular example worked for a quick, scalp to the short side, doesn't mean I really want to take it. And that's a key thing, because if you're doing like 4 out of 5 samples, 2 of those could stuff you up the ass on a retrace. Oh, Peter, I think that's actually kind of the easiest thing. I wonder, I just got to research this because I have no idea how to do it. But can you create I'm going to research, how do you create a video that is essentially a soundtrack? And then I can post it on our YouTube channel, which will be like even more reason for everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? So speaking of possibilities and probabilities, here we go on NASDAQ. We have a pause or neutral candle, dot candle. Now this is a white dot candle. I still like this trade. Now actually, you know what I want to turn on, by the way, here? I want to turn on this, BFF dots. I want to turn on the candle countdown. It really helps me. It really helps me to see the candle countdown here. Okay, so this is it's not quite doing the white dot, but if this ends up a white dot on this trade, meaning that it's an early buy signal, I would play this trade to the upside, even though it's not the highest confidence trade, but there's a lot of things going my way. We have positive trend, reversal out of this. Let me make sure that I have the right settings. I have 4120 buy. All right, so I'm long this thing, as I told you I would be, and I'm done. And yet another really clean, easy, super fast 10 points, right? Yeah, Peter, that's a great idea. I'm definitely gonna, I'm just gonna Google and find out how to create a YouTube video with a soundtrack, and I'll put it on our channel. So guys, one thing for everybody who's just chilling out with me today, I am gonna trade with you Monday. I'm not leaving till like the afternoon on Monday, but that's gonna be my last day for a whole week. I'll be in Australia, so have a good time over there. So you guys will be without me, but now you are all set with a whole bunch of really good tools and a whole bunch of strategies to just scalp yourself to heaven, right? I mean, we've been scalping really, really well today. I'm positive in my trade evade. I'm positive across all my accounts and wealth charts. Even as even as I was blabbering and making some mistakes. So yeah. Where am I going to be in Australia? I'm going to be in Melbourne. I'm going to be in Melbourne with my friends at ACAP and my friends at TradeView. Wow. You know what, EB? Okay, EB, I want to tell you this right here, is a trillion times better than winning. Okay? For a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, there is nothing better than coming back from a loss. It's better than winning, because you know what it does? It tells you that you cannot be killed. It means that you have the skills to come back when you're down. Even if you blow the account, you know that if you can come back from a loss, you can come back on the next account. So I think we deserve a little play here today. I think we deserve, where are the chickens? Where are the chickens? Yes, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We deserve a few things here. Why is this not playing? Oh. That's right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. My favorite part about the lyrics in that one is, I'm a star, I'm a winner, can't get thinner. I love the fact that he goes, can't get thinner, winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's just like the funniest line. It's like the absolute, it's the absolute like meme line from Hollywood, mindless, self-indulgent line. It's just so funny. I find that really hilarious. Anyways, great job, Yubi. I'm so glad you came back. That's such a great feeling. And there's nothing better. I'll share with you my little story yesterday. So, the account that I was trading to you with Trade Evade, right? Again, I was fucking around with 1,000 different variations until 12 midnight last night, trying to give you what I thought was, I was looking for these combos that really, really made sense, because we're, we went to this idea of like, let's trade dots, let's trade lots of frequency ideas. Let's just do not high, setup ideas, but much more dynamic ideas. But the problem is, yeah, it all sounds great in theory, but you got to really filter out and focus on what truly works versus what you think is going to work. So of course, I burnt like 4.5 hours in Asia, killing my account, just destroying the living crap out of it, trying to figure out, these combinations, which I brought to you this morning. And that account was like down $800-900, and I'm talking about, I'm trading micros. I'm trading like really pussy accounts, and I just managed to kind of, get down to half my drawdown. And then when I figured it out and I started trading the right rhythm, I brought it back up just like you to positive money. And that was such a great feeling by this morning, and then that's why I was glad to have, when I came into live, I knew I had the right answers for you. And you see that, every trade in live has been a winner with a chicken dinner. But like, that's the point. Do not ever get discouraged that you hit a big drawdown. You're just experimenting. You're just learning. And it's more valuable to actually learn from that, because out of that, you will extract the absolute best ideas. If you walk your way and talk your way through what's going on, and then once you extract the absolute best ideas, then it becomes a lot easier to replicate them, like I did with you guys today all day long. So yeah, I'm glad you shared that with us. I had the same experience, and you know, it was all good. It was all good. Okay, what else? Any questions? It's Ask Me Anything Friday. Let's talk a little bit. We got no setups. Nothing on NAS right now. NAS is kind of, you know, turned itself down. So we took that upside trade. Actually, I did have, you know, while I was talking and, you know, doing my whole inspirational Dale Carnegie conversation, we did have a legitimate sell here. I could have taken, this was a pause, red slope. Remember I said this wasn't a trade, but this sure as fuck was. This was a trade. Oh, hey guys, hang on just 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Hey Vince. Hey man, how are you? Could I'm in a little live. Would it be possible to call you back like in 10 minutes? Are you free? Oh, I didn't realize. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you're in Asia. Um, so listen, I'm gonna be in Australia next week. It might be a lot easier for us to connect then because I'll be on your time frame. Can we do that? Wednesday of next week. Okay, all right. You know, so just give me like 5 minutes. And I'll call you right back. I promise you. Okay? Just stop saying. Thanks, man. Bye bye. All right, guys. You know what? I gotta cut the live short. We had a great live already. We went 2.5 hours. These are the guys from Apex. I gotta talk to them. So I want to thank you. We had a great week. I'm gonna be there with you guys Monday. I'm sorry to cut live short, but I gotta go talk to him because I want to do some more cool stuff for you guys later on. So thank you so much. Everybody have a great time. This is obviously all on review. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. The wealth charts are not up. The wealth charts are not done. So thank you very much. I will see everybody Monday. Okay. Thank you guys. Take care.